This video is sponsored by Squarespace. If you need to make a website, you need Squarespace. And if you didn't know, you can also do this. Please subscribe. I'm trying to get 100,000 subscribers. Every year, Tesla releases a holiday update to its vehicles that is totally free, and you can download it while your car is sitting in your garage. The holiday updates often add fun things like games, but Tesla usually adds in some long-requested features and great utility as well. So in this video, we're gonna go over Tesla's 2022 holiday update. So first up is Apple Music. This has long been requested from Tesla fans. A lot of these Tesla people seem to all use iPhones. I do not. I use Android, so I don't have Apple Music, but here's a quick look at what that looks like thanks to Tesla Raj. I will link his video down below, which has kind of the full go over of this feature, but it's something I know people have wanted for a long time, and Tesla has finally listened and gave it to us in our Teslas. Next up is Steam. Yes, Steam, like the entire video game client, is available on Model S and Model X that have 16 gigabytes of RAM. Now, those are ones manufactured after about February of 2022. Now, Elon Musk did say there will be a retrofit for this. Model S and Model X that were manufactured with only 8 gigabytes of RAM will be able to be upgraded to 16 gigabytes. So I don't think the legacy S and X are gonna get this, and I don't think Model 3 and Model Y, at least as of today, are going to be getting this. Now, I tried out Steam for a bit. You only have about 80 gigabytes of space. Luckily, you can add an SSD if you want to be able to load up more games and download more Steam games. It is played locally on the car. It's basically PS5 level graphic capability. I installed Risk of Rain because it's kind of a smaller game. I just wanted to get it installed really quick so I could try something out. I am also currently installing The Witcher. If I get it in time, I will show you some footage of how that looks. But with those two games, I'm like pretty much full. I can't really add much more after that. So you definitely want to pick up an SSD. Now, Tesla also did release an SSD specifically for their cars, a 1 terabyte one, but I'm gonna give you a little pro tip here. There's really nothing special about that SSD. I can actually link below an Amazon link to pretty much the exact same SSD without the Tesla branding, and it's like a third of the price. So check that one out if you want to add that SSD to your car and install more games. But gameplay was really good. I had a knockoff Xbox controller that I bought from GameStop like 2 years ago, and I just plugged that in. You can use Bluetooth controllers now, which we'll go over, but this is the controller I had. I plugged it in, it worked immediately. The car seemed to recognize it was an Xbox style controller. It even had the Xbox logo, so it knew if I pressed the Xbox button, it would bring up the menu on all of those things. Risk of Rain worked perfectly. It knew what buttons to press. I was able to pick up and play the game pretty much instantly. It ran really well. Again, it's not a very demanding game, but it did run really well. Steam also has your saved games on the cloud, so if you're playing something on your PC and you're on a road trip and you're at a supercharger, or maybe you're just bored wherever you are and you want to play some games, you can pick up right where you left off on your Tesla, and all that progress again will go to the cloud, and when you get back to your computer, you'll have all your progress, which is very cool. Now, this is basically a Steam Deck, and there's even references to Steam Deck throughout the software. I saw a couple of times. And so pretty much anything that's Steam Deck certified, which is Steam's new handheld device, will also be able to be used on the Tesla. And out of the games I have, you know, Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2 and The Witcher and Cyberpunk, pretty much all the big things are there. I didn't really notice just at a quick glance, like, oh man, this game's missing. I really wish I could play that. So I think this is an awesome implementation. I mean, if you own a Model S or Model X, Tesla basically just gave you a PS5 for free pretty much. So very cool to see that. Now, I did experience one bug, unfortunately, with Steam. I found that if you open Steam and then close it and then try to open it again, the car kind of freezes. And then I had to do a 2 scroll wheel reset. Now, Steam is labeled as beta, and I'm sure this will be fixed pretty soon. It's pretty typical for new features in these updates to be a little wonky, and then they get fixed later. But the scroll wheel reset on a Ryzen Tesla is really fast, so not that big of a deal. And then you're able to open it up again. And then one more piece of good news for downloading your games, which may take a while on the car when you have these huge games that are 50 or 100 gigabytes. You can start the download on the car and leave, and the car should continue to download the game. I did test that, and it did work for me for Risk of Rain, so that is really nice to have. Next up is Zoom. Yes, you can use the video meeting app from your car. There's an internal camera that shows the inside of the car, which we'll use for other things as well later in the video, but you can attend your meetings on Zoom in your Tesla. And if you do have to jump into a Zoom meeting, I assume it's about your company's website. And why not make your job way easier by using Squarespace to design your own custom website? Squarespace has all the tools you need, along with easy to use and unique templates that can help you make an awesome website and make it quickly and efficiently. Not only that, but the analytics on Squarespace will help you target the audience you're looking to target, whether you want to sell products, teach a certain subject, or just work on your blog. And the good news is, if you use my link, squarespace.com/dirtytesla, you will save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. So once again, head to squarespace.com/dirtytesla and use my code DIRTYTESLA to save 10% on your website. Thank you so much to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Moving back into Zoom, you can sit in the car, you can join the meeting, and this app actually worked really well. I was kind of surprised how smooth and fluid everything was, entering the code to get into the Zoom meeting. When you first enter the meeting, your camera and microphone are off by default, which is great, of course, and then you can turn on the camera. The video was like night vision, and the car does have IR sensors in it, but I made the garage pretty bright, and I couldn't get it to show as like normal footage. So I'll try before I get this video up to do it during the day, but bear with me, I work a full-time job, so I do all my videos like at night and it's like super dark. So I couldn't get that image, but the image looked good enough. And of course you could do it with your phone, but this way you have the Zoom meeting there set up. You don't have to fiddle with anything. You just sign in and it's all kind of viewing everything. And you could still have your phone to look at your calendar or take notes or whatever you want to do with your phone while you're in that meeting. So actually a pretty cool ad, why not? And it worked pretty well in the testing I did. There have been improvements to dog mode, which also use that interior camera. So while you have dog or sentry mode enabled on the car, you can use the interior camera and look into the car. It's actually a really nice feature, and it also shows you the temperature in the car. So you can make sure that your pet that's in the car is a comfortable temperature. Now, theoretically, you could use this to Snoopy on someone in the car, but the good news is there is a message on the screen that says live camera in use, and so anyone that even glances at the screen will know that they're being watched at that time. But yeah, something to think about. So the Lightshow for Tesla has gotten an improvement. This is where the car can dance and open its doors for the Model X and open the trunk and the charge port and flash the lights on all the other cars and do a dance. And it's had the Christmas song for a while now, but a new song has been added, so that's cool. And this has had a big improvement in that it now can be scheduled. So before, you would go into the car, click this icon, and then it would start the Lightshow pretty much as soon as you close the door. You walk away, and a few seconds later, the car starts dancing. Well, now you can schedule it up to 10 minutes in advance. And what is very cool about that is you could have multiple Teslas all schedule it for, say, 5 minutes from now. They're all on the same internet connected clock. And as soon as you hit that time, all the Teslas will do their dance simultaneously together. So mostly a fun update, but it's actually a bit useful as well to be able to schedule it in that way. And they also allow you now to disable the dance moves. So if you didn't like especially on the Model X where the doors open and everything goes crazy, if you don't want the car moving around and doing all that stuff, but maybe just playing the music and flashing the lights, you can disable the dance moves with a checkbox. So really nice to see that. For refresh Model S and X that have the rear screen in the back, you can now control this up front. Well, now that rear screen pretty much just gets mirrored onto the front screen, and you can control it as if you were sitting back there touching the screen. Now, the negative of that is none of the media apps will work from the front. So if you wanted to put on a YouTube or a Netflix video for somebody sitting in the back from the front seat, you can't do that while the car is in drive. What you could do is in park, set it up for them, and then close that application rear screen, and once you start driving, it should keep playing. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about that one, because it would be nice to have control of that while you're driving, but at the same time, I totally understand why they disabled it. So just a small quality of life improvement on this one. The fan speed can now be controlled even when your climate is in auto. So sometimes this would be pretty annoying where you'd have auto climate and the fan was either going crazy way too fast or it was going too slow and you wanted some more of whatever temperature was coming out. And if you adjusted the fan speed, it turned auto off and just kind of messed everything up. Now you have kind of this preference of low, medium, or high fan speed while allowing the car to take care of the rest of everything else, which it is very good at doing, but sometimes just personal preference, the speed of the fan is either too fast or too slow, and now we have control over that, which is awesome. MyQ Garage app is now installed in the cars, and I'm a little conflicted on this one. So I have MyQ on my garage door. It just came built in. I didn't have to do anything. It connects to the Wi-Fi, and I have the free app that will become key in a moment on my phone where I can open my garage, I can close my garage. I have it scheduled so it closes every night at a certain time in case I forget. And you can see the status of your garage door from your app anywhere you have internet. Well, you can do that from the car as well, but there's a subscription fee and you have to pay like $45 a year, or you could pay for 5 years or whatever. And that's just kind of lame in my opinion. I already bought your stuff, MyQ, so now you want me to pay a subscription to like open my garage door? I mean, the subscriptions are just totally getting out of hand. Now, it does come with a 30-day free trial, so I did enable that on the Model X so I could try it out. Seems to work well. You can see the status of the garage door in car, and that's very useful because as you approach, MyQ can auto open your garage door, but if your garage door is already open, it won't do that. If your garage door is already closed, it won't auto close it when you're leaving, something like that. Whereas with HomeLink, which was the old system Tesla used and comes pre-installed on Model S and X, but is a $300 upgrade for Model 3 and Y, it doesn't know the state of your garage door. It doesn't know if it's open or closed. So if you get home and your garage door is already open and you have the auto open set up, it'll just click on and close your garage door even though it's trying to open it. Whereas now MyQ can avoid that. I'm not thrilled about a subscription for opening my garage door though, so I don't think I'll be keeping this. Now, my Model Y does not have HomeLink installed, and I did not want to pay that $300 or $350 for it. So I'm looking forward to the free trial. I may keep it for a year just to try it out, but mostly out of principle, I don't want to pay a subscription to open my garage door. I have a clicker, I'll just press the button I already have. And then one more note about that, all I did was connect my MyQ account and the car already had my garage door ready to go. I didn't have to sync it up or anything, so that was pretty nice. Mahjong is a new game added to the car. I don't know how to play it. It's there if you want to play it. So another game that's kind of in the car that's not related to Steam. I will also mention with that, it looks like you can now uninstall certain apps and games in the car if you want to save some room. So that's pretty good. It looked like most of the available space was already free, so I'm not really worried about it. But most of those games I don't play, and I think it is cool to free up a little space for more of the Steam stuff, so I may do that. You can connect Bluetooth gaming controllers. Tesla specifically recommends PS5 controllers, but any Bluetooth gaming controller should work. Like I said, the one I used was wired, so I haven't tried this yet, but it should work fine. A couple of improvements to the phone app. It will basically confirm before it transfers a call. If you're on the phone, you sit in the car, it's not just gonna rip your phone call away from you, which is pretty nice. It'll ask on the screen and you'll have to confirm that. And then you can also look up contacts in the car too before you call somebody. Exclude automatic doors. This is pretty cool for the Model X especially because you can have a feature enabled where when you walk up to the car, it'll automatically pop open the driver's door for you. And then when you get in, you don't have to touch anything. You get in and you press the brake to close it. Well, at home, that can kind of be annoying, especially if you're coming in and out of the house all day. The door will just pop open and it will close itself if you walk away, but maybe 1% of the time it doesn't close itself and it's just kind of weird and you're like, stop popping open. So it's something that a lot of people turn off. Well, now you can set it so it will not do that when you're home. And then with Model S, it has the auto presenting door handles. You can set it so it will not auto present when you walk up if you're at home. Then how do you get in your Model S? Well, you can just press the door handle and it'll pop out after you press it. So really nice customization option there. Emissions testing mode, this was added, was it last holiday update? I think 2 holiday updates ago. This was one of the new ones where you could make the car fart on the inside. So you could put it in any seat with the speaker system. It would go in any seat that you put the fart sound. And then when the car's got the external speaker, you could actually put the fart on the outside and make it sound like the car's farting to other people with the outside speaker. Well, this has been improved one more time, and you can actually make the car fart from your app. Of course, it picked the longest one. So pretty funny. I haven't found... And if you didn't know, you can also do this. Please subscribe. I'm trying to get 100,000 subscribers. And then finally, at least for my Model X, is the Always Rainbows feature. If you didn't know, autopilot, you could press the stalk down 4 times to turn on Rainbow Road, and it would put a rainbow graphic on the screen when autopilot was on. Well, now for whatever reason, you can just set it so that every time you turn autopilot on, you'll always have this. So pretty funny. I mean, I don't see why not. It's these kind of things that are just fun to add. And then a couple honorable mentions here for Model 3 and Model Y because I don't have it on my Model Y yet and this car isn't getting it. Auto turn signals. That's actually something the Refresh S and X already has. Basically, you have to turn on your turn signal, but you turn your turn signal on and then after you change lanes, say on the highway, it'll automatically turn off. Now, this is actually way more awesome than it sounds. Instead of doing something like using the 3 blinks, like blink, 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 and then it auto turns off whether you made the lane change or not, now the car is smart enough to know after you make a lane change to turn the turn signal off. Again, it's way nicer in practice than it sounds, and I love this feature, and I'm so happy it's coming to Model 3 and Model Y. Now, if you have beta, you know, the car does everything anyway, but for manual driving, it's awesome. Model Y Performance is getting track mode. I know people have been dying for that. As of now, there is no plans to bring track mode to the Model X Plaid. So that's not happening as far as I know. I would not get my hopes up. Could happen in the future, but as of now, no plans for it. Also for Model 3 and Model Y, the little media card, so in the bottom right, it was kind of like most of the screen was your media, where your music and stuff was. That's moving to the bottom left, so it's closer to the driver, and it's also gonna be a bit smaller and a little more compact, and it looks really nice. You also can swipe it, and we have our cards back. So a couple of years ago, we used to have these little swipeable cards where you could swipe back and forth and see your tire pressure and your efficiency and information like that, whereas now you gotta like dig deep in the menus, and it's really annoying. Well, those are coming back. I'm so excited. I missed those so much. Thank you, Tesla. This was a great decision, and Model 3 and Model Y owners that never had those cards are gonna love this addition. And then last thing for the 3 and Y, they're getting some navigation updates. A small part of this came to S and X as well. And on the top left, it's gonna be big text that tells you your next move and the name of the street, and like that's it. So it's like, this is what you're doing next. And then below that is like your next move after that one, but you know, it's kind of small, it's not that important yet. And then the rest of the information is moving down to the bottom of the picture, to the bottom of the screen, that will have your ETA and all of that. And the point of this was to free up some more map space for 3 and Y, because not only is the screen smaller than the S and the X, but a lot of that screen is taken up by your odometer and the graphic of your car and all of that. So you should have a nicer map view. The screenshots actually look pretty decent to me. I think this is an okay move, but I'm gonna save judgment until I get to use it for myself, because sometimes these changes that Tesla makes, or any company when they make these kind of changes, are a little goofy and they don't actually help. So we'll see. I'm gonna save judgment on this one. I'm not sure how to feel yet. So I believe that was everything. This was a huge holiday update. Awesome. I'm so excited. I love it. Thank you, Tesla. These updates are so fun. It's fun to talk about and added a lot of cool stuff. So if you have any questions, please leave those down below. I'd be happy to answer those. And you will see me and my Model X or something in the next video. Actually, the basement might be done. I might be done in here. I hope so. I'm freezing. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time.